When you study the human geography and environment, it gives you a good background on quite a range of environmental issues. So you study things such as the impact of consumption, the impact of meat production in as one of the main causes of environmental degradation. You study poverty, animal welfare, the science of climate change, a lot of different things. And I'd say a good back knowledge is sort of the founding of the what you need for the role.
Okay. And you've had any previous roles that have equipped you as well as doing your degree?
Here at the uni, I would say that I've had experience as both the vice chair of VAMBRA for events, so I know how to interact with YUSU. I've met a lot of people. I know how to run events, put speakers on, invite people into the uni, and I've also, and it gives you the sort of organisational skills and the sort of creative experience to come up with a range of sort of problem-solving solutions to any problems you might face in the role.
Yeah, and you say in your manifesto how you would like the university to take on a campaign to reduce air pollution. Why would you say this is one of the biggest problems?
Well, I recently wrote an article for the newspaper, for news, on the air pollution situation in York. And a lot of other big cities have a mandatory clean air exclusion zone for things like buses around York, well, around the city. But York didn't have one until just this early January. So a lot of councillors and other senior members of the Green Party as well are quite concerned about the air pollution in York, because of course it's narrow streets and a lot of cars. And so I think it's a campaign that is actually quite relevant to us here in the uni.
And how would you go about improving the university's environmental footprint?
So I think we could, this sort of splits into three different categories. You've got the university itself. The university, of course, works off quite an old, parts of it date back to the 1960s, sort of thermal boiler. So encouraging the university to maybe update that, reduce the environmental impact of that main electricity source. Also, older facilities around the uni don't have, for example, taps that automatically switch off. They don't have lights that automatically switch off. And encouraging them to upgrade them to the standard of, let's say, some of the main buildings, VAMBRA, Derwent, and the other main buildings around campus would improve the university's environmental footprint. For YUSU, it can be as small as just ensuring that they only use and appoint environmentally responsible suppliers. And then for students, there can be a number of things. So I promote cycling a lot. I mean, I know a lot of students walk around anyway, but encouraging cycling can only be a good thing. And the university used to have policies such as Operation Spoke, where they provide free servicing and sort of security measures for your bicycles, which doesn't happen anymore. They also used to have second-hand bike sales at the start of every year, which doesn't happen anymore. And bringing things like that back would certainly improve the environmental footprint. And also, one of my favourite policies is actually, I really want to provide students with no junk mail signs for doors, both on campus and off campus, because there are literally thousands of paper and plastic takeaway menus we get every day of the year. And even if we just cut that by a small amount, that would still be a massive saving for the environment.
Yeah. And how would you go about engaging with students to make sure that their voices are heard?
So I feel like sometimes it might be that really engaging with feedback on environmental policies and other policies could be a big thing with this. So the York Cup had a few people complaining, and although it was a very good scheme, and it was very, it really saved on single-use cups, just listening to the feedback and making sure all student voices are heard would be important. Also, a lot of people want to ban single-use disposable things such as plastic straws throughout the whole university, but that's not possible because some groups may need them for accessibility reasons, particularly the DSN like to have, want there to be single-use plastic straws available on request for students who need them. And listening to feedback like that and making sure students have that available is really important.
On air,
online,
on tap, New York's official student radio station.
URY. Thank you to